Joker movie. Man, I don't even know where to begin with this one. So, a while back, I did a. One sec. A while back, I did a video about the Joker and how much I didn't like the movie. Now, granted, I didn't watch the movie, but, looking at the previews, looking at the movie, it just seemed like a movie that wasn't for me. And I know this whole review thing or whatever is late, but this is just my thoughts on the Joker. What the fuck did I just watch? What was that? What? I haven't been this confused since I saw Pain and Gain, and I love that movie. But even when I first watched that movie, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" This movie was just so. Everyone talked about this movie like it was the greatest thing in the history of cinema. Like, if you didn't watch the Joker, you didn't know what good cinema was. You didn't know what good cinematography was. You didn't know any of that stuff. And I watched this movie, and I gotta sit there and say this movie is probably the worst movie I've ever watched in my entire fucking life. This movie is just about a crazy guy that smokes a lot and kills people. That's pretty much the way you can just sum up this entire movie. And you know what? I'll be happy if I just ended the review right there, or ended my thoughts on this movie right there, because that's literally what this movie was. It was him smoking. It was him killing people. It was him doing his awkward ass fucking laugh. Like, here's the thing. I thought that Jared Leto's Joker's laugh was just awkward and weird, but this guy takes it to a whole new fucking level of just fucking awkwardness, and just like, remember he was at the comedy, there was a scene where he was at the comedy club and he started laughing like that. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? And I was just like, oh man, this is just awkward and uncomfortable to watch. This whole fucking movie was just an awkward and uncomfortable experience, or experiment. That's literally, I mean, here's the thing. I get that people, look at this movie and they talk about mental health and things of that nature. And, here's the thing. While I do think that that's great and it does touch upon that, and it doesn't do it in a way, for me, it doesn't do it in a way where it's like it's a PSA, it beats you over the head. So I give him props on, being able to make a movie about mental health that's not trying to beat you over the head with his messages and things of that nature. So I give him props for that. And that's probably the only thing that's the only thing I'm going to give them props for, because this movie is just bad. It is just, I remember a coworker came in couple of weeks or maybe a couple months ago, and he was meant to say, yeah, I saw the Joker, and it was just really dark. It was such a dark movie, and I'm like, you clearly didn't know what the hell you were getting into. And I knew what I was getting into because I heard everyone talk about the Joker, and the Joker is the raving, and just non-stop raving about this movie like it's the best DC movie ever. And people were sitting there saying, oh, they can make more DC movies like this. And I fucking hope, I'm not going to waste a prayer on it, but I hope that they don't make another DC movie like this, because here's the thing. When I think of a DC movie and I think of watching a DC movie, I think of watching a comic book movie. And this movie was as far away from anything comic related as possible. It was far away from anything as possible as far as a comic book movie. This was a social experiment. This was just not something that I would want to watch. Everyone would sit there and talk about, Justice League and Batman v Superman sucks, and this sucks, and that sucks, and the Joker's great. And I'm like, I will take any suck-ass movie any day of the fucking week before I ever intentionally watch that movie again. I mean, I have a policy basically of just not watching a movie more than once unless I'm watching it with somebody else. But, like, I just couldn't see myself sitting through that thing Again, I couldn't fucking do it. And maybe at this point I'm just rambling, but I'm gonna ramble for a little bit because why not? Um, I just, I mean, the decisions that this guy made, the hallucinations. I mean, him going out with Zazie Beats or whatever her character's name was. I just, I'm trying to be a little nice because I don't want to sit there and talk down about people who have mental illness and shit. But this movie just, I mean, when I sit there and say this is probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, I really do mean that. And granted, it can have the best acting and the best performance and best cinematography and all this other bullshit, but the movie to me sucked. And it sucked bad. This movie was just a bad fucking movie from start, middle, and fucking end. And I kept looking at my time, as far as when this movie's over. I kept checking the damn time, and I had to keep rewinding certain parts because there was times where I just zoned out. There was times I literally zoned out. There was a part where I think he just came from killing some people in the subway. And he goes in the bathroom and he starts dancing and does this little weird shit. And so I go on my phone or whatever, and I'm just kind of I'm looking at the TV like, I don't know what the fuck you doing, but okay, I'm gonna check social media. And then next thing you know, it's him kissing Zazie Beetz, and I had to rewind it because I was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? I mean, that's how I feel about the whole movie from start to finish, from scene to scene, that I'm just like, what the fuck am I actually watching? And people listening to saying, oh well, they hope they're gonna make a part two, and they're gonna make a part two, and I mean, listen, I have no dog in this fight whatsoever, and I'm not the type person that would sit there and say I don't want it to be a part two. If people love this movie, I just need people. Here's the thing: if you're watching this video, can you please explain to me why if you like this movie, please explain to me why you love this movie. Because I really, really, really want to fucking know. I want to understand. And I can't wait till this fucking whole pandemic is over so I can really start to talk to some of my friends about this movie. Because I know one of my friends talks about how he fucking loves it and he's raving about it. And I really just want to sit down and pick this man's brain and be like, I want to ask you a question. You need to write down 5 reasons of why you like this movie, The Joker. And by the way, I've seen different iterations of the Joker. Batman the Animated Series Joker, which is probably my favorite one. There's the comic book versions and things of that nature. This did not scream. When I think of Joker, he is the most far removed version of the Joker I've ever seen in my entire life. When I go back to Gotham, the show that was on Channel 5 before 5 decided to cut their losses and did whatever the fuck they're doing now. And I actually did really like that show. So screw you, Fox. But they had a character named Jerome, and to me, he was probably among my top favorite live action Jokers, because he felt like Joker to me. He embodied Joker, and he was funny, and he was serious at the same time. He did Joker like there was nobody else. And then you go to the Suicide Squad of the Joker, and that's well, that was something. I don't even know what to say about that Joker. But this guy didn't feel like Joker to me. He just felt like a mentally imbalanced fucking person. And yeah, I understand that Joker is mentally imbalanced, but he's also a lot more than just some fucking unstable guy that gets fired from a job and decides to fucking start killing a bunch of people and shit. And a while back, even before the Joker came out and people was talking about the Joker, they were like, a lot of people just felt like Joker didn't need a backstory. Joker's character works better when he doesn't have a backstory. You don't need to know what made the Joker the Joker. He just is. He's just a fucking thing. He's like Freddy Krueger. He's just something that exists, and he doesn't need a backstory. This whole watching the Joker become the Joker is just. I want to sit there and say I wish I can get 2 hours of my life back, but I really needed to watch this movie because I need to I need to understand what the fuck does everyone see in this movie, and two, I need to see it for myself. I need to see it for myself as far as this movie. And I gotta tell you, this movie, again, and I'm gonna reiterate this before I end this video, is that this movie is bad. This is a really, really, really bad movie from start to finish. It is awkward. It's one of those movies that, like, if I watched it and I could see myself just walking out of it a good half an hour into it because it's just unnecessary. And I know people will sit there and say, oh, it's a great movie and it did a lot for DC. Bro, let me tell you something. If that's the type of movies that DC is gonna do, I'm good. I'll stick to fucking Marvel. I'll stick to fucking the Avengers and the Eternals and anything else that Marvel will fucking come out with, because that is. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to keep my fucking cool and not rage out and pull like a fucking Robert Storm and shit. But that movie is just, it's not for me. It wasn't for me when it first came out. I knew it wasn't for me when it first came out. I was much more excited about Sonic, and this was during the bad design. I was more excited about Sonic because you know what? Sonic to me was fun, and of course it's a great movie, and they fixed the designs and everything. But my point is, Sonic is a fun movie, and when I go to the movies, I want to be entertained, and that movie was not entertaining to me. It wasn't preachy. I appreciate the fact that it wasn't preachy and wasn't trying to be all educational about mental health and mental illness and shit like that, but I just, when I watch a movie, I want to watch it because it's fun, and that movie is, to me, it's a definition of a very boring and very awkward and just very uncomfortable movie to watch. Like, there was scenes in that movie where, like, him killing his mother or his adopted mother, even him meeting Bruce Wayne and putting his hands on him, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So you grabbing like fucking 10-year-olds? Like, what the hell are you doing, B? Like, when Alex Baldwin said that he decided to drop out of being in the movie, I didn't shit on him, but I was like, what the fuck do you have, like, what do you have better to do? And after watching that movie, I was like, well, that shut me up. That shut me up. Yeah. So, thank you for watching my super late review on a Joker. Well, honestly, tell you the truth, it was just more my thoughts on the Joker at this point. I didn't really review it. I just practically sat in front of a camera and said how much of a shitty ass shit fucking movie it was, because it was. And so I thank you for that. And yeah, I want to do, fuck it. Have a good day, have a good night. Thank you for watching this review. Well, my thoughts on the Joker. Be safe, wash your damn hands. I was gonna say wash your goddamn hands, but wash your goddamn hands, and I will see you in the next video.